Rob Profusek, Porcelain and Diamonds, producer.
Hi, I'm Ryan Silberg. I'm the writer-director for Porcelain and Diamonds.
And we're at the Dallas International Film Festival. Good morning, guys. Thanks for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So how's your experience been in Dallas so far?
I mean, Dallas is great. This is actually our second year here. We had a short doc here last year. So this has been, an incredible thing to see the evolution of the festival. I mean, every year it gets bigger and better and incredible films.
Yeah. And people always are, by far the nicest that I've ever met at any festival across the U.S. Everybody's as friendly as can be, so it's great to be back.
Well, we try.
Yes. Try very well.
So, what are your plans while you're here? Any movies that you want to see in particular?
We've been kind of, trying to see a lot. I mean, a lot of stuff that actually we don't necessarily get to see at kind of other festivals, and also kind of new local stuff and things that they've mined out of kind of different places. So we've kind of seen pretty good smattering of stuff, and we've been given a big actually barbecue sheet that has 5 places that we're trying to track down on
To make the rounds.
Yes, exactly. Track down on some big mysterious journey. So hopefully we can do that at some point too.
Subject of the next documentary, maybe.
Yes. Great barbecue of Dallas, Texas. So.
Yeah, it's not that hard to find it, but you'd be surprised. We're the pretty good navigators in the streets of Dallas at this point.
Good. I'm not, so I'm jealous. So we're here to talk about your movie, Porcelain and Diamonds. Now, you're the writer and the director.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about the story?
Oh, geez. Well, it's a short film, and it's a comedy about, it's really a comedy of circumstance about a man on the day of his proposal, or his intended proposal, who gets into a little bit of trouble in the bathroom.
Uh-oh.
So that's all I can say.
Okay. Gotcha. So how'd you come up with this? I'm hoping this is not personal experience, but if it is, I'm kind of intrigued.
No, it's funny. Somebody asked us yesterday, and people seem to think that it is personal, but the only way it gets personal is in trying to come up with a short to write and direct and to make, and in particular a comedy. The idea actually came out of dinner and movie with my grandmother, who loved Borat. And when this was written a bit ago, and we shot it about 2 years ago. And she just loves Borat, like the dirty humor of Borat as an older lady. And I thought to myself, well, this is the kind of laughter I kind of want to try. I want to try this out. And it's a pretty hard thing to write comedy, especially the timing and getting it all down. So I think this was, for us, for me, it was the first time I had done a comedy on screen. And I don't know, for you. Yeah.
No, I even think that actually doing comedy as a short is much more difficult, in that regard, because you have really one shot. And if you don't hit that one shot, then you've kind of lost an audience, and you've lost the opportunity to use the genre of comedy to kind of tell a story. So, ours, while being very kind of extreme in its kind of devices and stuff, I think works really kind of well in that regard, because it keeps people just kind of by the steps, etc., and then you're out of it. So kind of, we hope that it kind of fits perfectly and works well as a short.
I'm curious about what you said. You don't usually see shorts as comedy. Like, I've written a few shorts myself, and now that I think about it, all drama. So how do you even start that process? Do you just kind of pick your topic and go, or?
Yeah, for this film in particular, I think this goes back to Rob. We talked about this at a high school event the other day. You just kind of want to come into the short with like a really easy in, and it's really relatable. Toilet humor is a pretty relatable thing. It's usually people's worst fears. So it plays onto that, and it's pretty quick, and then, goes through a certain, degree of problems, and you get out of the film as quickly as possible, so that, it stays really tight and compact. And you don't really give the audience the time to think about, like, why am I watching this? Or, have to think about the humor. It's the advantage of slapstick.
Has it had the desired effect? What did your grandmother think of it?
Well, actually, we haven't shown it to my grandmother yet.
That's a good
we play we play Palm Beach actually next week, and she lives down in Florida, so hopefully she'll come up and see it. I'm curious to see what happens with that.
I'll be curious too, actually.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you.
Okay, good. So
I'm sure, nevertheless, though, she'll have that kind of very kind of grinningly kind of, that's my grandson.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, people seem to really enjoy it. I mean, I think, again, it's totally, I think from the minute that he gets into that problem in the bathroom, I think people have to just relate to it in a very personal way in some degree or another.
Sure. So kind of switching gears a little bit, being as you're young filmmakers, you've been to the festival before, how important is it for young filmmakers to, be in the festival environment? How has that helped you?
I mean, for us, it's been great because we started as, writer, director, producer, making shorts. And that's really where we've started to hone the craft of filmmaking, because it really is a craft. I mean, it's not something you can just, I think YouTube kind of proves that. You kind of can't just turn on a camera and just start shooting. I mean, you really want to have to, a couple of times at it and keep trying it. And shorts and these kinds of festivals that are incredibly well programmed, the programmers do such a good job, I think, of inviting shorts and, actually creating a distribution sort of, or at least creating an audience or giving an audience a chance to see these films that I don't think otherwise would be seen.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think that, the relevance of the festivals is also, I mean, this is where you find your collaborators in kind of all regards. I mean, this is where you find kind of writing collaborators. This is where you find, potential producing kind of financial collaborators. I mean, they're really they are the lifeblood of kind of our industry, especially kind of from the independent standpoint, since a lot of the stuff that we're doing, we're taking on the entire onus of kind of all parts of the process, whether it be kind of creative or kind of business or kind of what have you. So festivals are key in that. I can't tell you the number of stories that you hear people coming out saying, how did this film come about? And people saying, oh, we met at Dallas, we met at Sundance, we met at Berlin, or whatever the case may be. So they're really relevant.
And for regional festival too. I mean, we had a film at Sundance this year, and I mean, you see the difference between Sundance. Obviously, is a big platform for releasing major independent films, but the regional festivals like Dallas and in these kinds of areas really promote local community of filmmakers, and I think that's really important because that's, I mean, how you keep, telling interesting stories that are driven from local stories, and I think that's really super important, especially in the U.S., where we don't have major government funding for filmmaking and such.
That is very true.
Yeah.
And is there a Facebook page or website or anything where people can go to learn more about the film or your work?
Yes, actually. We have a production company called Toy Closet Films, and it's www.toyclosetfilms.com.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here this morning. It's been great talking to you, and have fun.
Thank you.
Definitely will.